Good morning. My name is Randall Thibodeau. I'm doing my presentation on the Alligator Mississippiensis, or the American alligator. The reason I chose the American alligator is because I live in Central Florida, and when you think of Central Florida, you think of Disneyland and alligators. Alligator Mississippiensis is a reptile common in the southeastern United States. It is commonly known as the American alligator. The word alligator is derived from the Spanish word lagarto, from the conquistadors that colonized early Florida and made the original settlements here. The alligator's classification, the phylum is Chordata, the class is Reptilia, order is Crocodilia, its family is Alligatorid, genus is Alligator. The alligator is a four-legged reptile that resides on land and brackish water. The American alligator is United from North Carolina to the Rio Grande in Texas, but it's primarily found in southeastern United States, Florida, Alabama, Mississippi. The American alligator thrives primarily in freshwater rivers, lakes, swamps, and bayous, as well as the Everglades and marshlands. The evolution. Having advantageously evolved over the last 70 million years, the alligator species really is a testament to the idea that only the fittest of all animals will survive. The alligator hasn't really evolved terribly much over the last 70 million years. It just shows what strong characteristics it already has and adaptations to survive in the harsh Florida marshlands. The alligator is a carnivore, a scavenger, and sometimes a cannibal. The alligators have very strong jaws that can penetrate turtle shells and other reptilian exoskeletons. They consume fish, snails, and other invertebrates, birds, frogs, and mammals that live in water or reside alongside the water. Alligators have an estimated 74 to 80 piercing teeth to clutch and grab, and over the course of a lifetime will go through almost 3,000 teeth as they fall out in adult. Alligators can swallow small prey whole. The teeth are meant for grabbing, not really grinding, chomping like a molar. Their teeth will continue to grow and develop over the course of their life. Alligators, of course, live to be about 50 years old towards the older ones. So over the course of their time, they'll grow a substantial amount of teeth. Ironically enough, alligators will eat snakes, and yet in the Everglades, which is having an issue with domesticated animals being released, the Burmese python will actually grow large enough to be able to kill or disable an alligator, and can actually eat a fully grown alligator if they are fully grown Burmese python, which they're quite large. All right. Alligators also scavenge dead animals as they're attracted to the odor of decay and rancidity. Alligators sometimes cannibalize other alligators who are weak or maimed and cannot defend themselves if they are really hungry and haven't eaten in a long time. Both male and female alligators reach maturity when they are about 6 feet long, which occurs about 10 to 12 years of age. Breeding takes place in night at the shallow water along the water's edge, which is where they usually hang out anyways. They don't really go into deep water. The male alligator will loop around the female and mount. Engagement starts primarily in early spring, while physical mating begins late in spring around May. The female builds a nest on land near the water during the early summer months and will lay between 35 to 50 eggs. The eggs are sheltered with foliage and hatch after about 65 days of incubation. It's pretty interesting. The sex of the alligators actually results from the temperature of the nest. Temperatures of 31 degrees Celsius or 87.8 degrees Fahrenheit or below will generally produce females. Temperatures of 32 degrees Celsius or 89.6 degrees Fahrenheit will generally produce males, and in the 32.5 mostly. Alligator nests are sometimes used by other reptiles for their own egg depositions and incubation. Once the alligator hatches from the egg, into trying to hunt and catch food, alligators will live with their mothers for about 1 to 2 years after hatching. When a female alligator is approximately 10 years old, it will build a nest and begin laying those fertilized eggs. So midsummer, the baby alligators start to squeal from inside the eggs, and these squeals let the mother know what time it is to swipe away the foliage and vegetation used to conceal the nest. When the baby alligator hatches, it measures about 6 to 8 inches long. Mothers hustily protect their hatchlings over the course of a few years. Crocodilians are one of the only orders of reptiles that offer maternal care to their young. Other reptiles generally do not. Alligators will grow and live to be as old as 50 years or more during their lifetime and can get up to 13 to 14 feet long. They're pretty remarkable in what they have developed. They have an integumentary sense organ, ISOs, and they are an interesting organ that is part of all of the crocodilian order. Alligators have ISOs in their skin organs as part of their scales and plates that are connected to their brain. They're also found in their head by their jawline. It is not fully understood what function they serve, but it is believed they serve as a sensor for pressure changes, temperature changes, water salinity, magnetic fields, and possibly prey nearby when underwater. Some scientists also urge that they secrete oils to keep the alligator clean from bacteria and fungus, but this theory is disputed. Skin and well-armored bodies and their sensory abilities is more acute than most reptiles or even mammals. A new study published in the November 8 issue of the Journal for Experimental Biology has discovered that these spots contain a concentrated collection of touch sensors that make them even more sensitive to pressure and vibration than human fingertips, which is pretty interesting considering they are essentially armored scales to begin with. Ultimately, these ISOs have enabled the alligator to become a formidable predator, allowing the reptile to locate its prey with exceptional accuracy and maneuver its jaws to prey unlike any other reptile in the animal kingdom. Female alligators are sequestered in a smaller area, but male alligators can claim territory in areas spanning 1 to 2 square miles. However, male and female alligators will widen their territories during mating season. Juvenile alligators typically reside in a small area near where they are hatched and protected. When alligators reach the age of 2 and 3, they become more autonomous and travel outside their protected areas, look for food sources, and escape larger predators. Picture over here on the left is a good example of an area where alligators will reside and have their nests and basically make their home. Alligators have unique and inviolable adaptations and survival instincts. The evolution of the alligator is best understood as heritable change over time or descent with modification. All crocodilians, including alligators and crocodiles, evolved from the Culebrasius esomericanus over 70 million. Not a whole lot is known between that time frame because of little fossil records to shed light on the changes over that. However, not a whole lot has really changed between then and now. Again, I find this to be a remarkable testament to their already formidable adaptations to the environment. Florida, in particular, prior to human interaction, was really an inhospitable, thick, marshy jungle for any animal in general. To find it habitable and flourish the way the alligator has is just remarkable. Its adaptations to do so are really, in the grand scheme of things, just breathtaking. It has developed in a manner that has made it able to survive in it as the top tier food chain in one of the most inhospitable areas on the planet. In conclusion, the American alligator Alligator Mississippiensis, is a descendant of the Culobrachus mesoamericanus, which lived in North America over 80 million years ago. There's been a little change to the alligator over the last 70 million years, other than its own descendant, the South American caiman, which is pretty interesting that it actually migrated to South America from North America through Central America. Pretty interesting. The American alligator lives for up to 50 years and can grow as large as feet. It'll be hatched from an egg like its mother and reside with her for 1 to 2 years before going on its own. When a female alligator turns approximately 10 years old, it will begin producing eggs of its own or procreation. The alligator plays a part in the environment as a carnivore scavenger, as the alligator will eat things already dead or dying that it comes across, as well as actively hunt when it needs to for survival. It kind of works to keep the ecosystem clean from decaying or dying or decomposing matter. All of the media that you have seen within this presentation is my own pictures that I took not far from my home, essentially walking distance from my house. All the alligators that I was able to get photographs of were about 3 to 4 feet in length and residing not terribly far from the waterline, all of which again was walking distance from my home. Alligators live right up on to the verge of where human interaction is, with little to no fear of humans, which is pretty interesting. If you ever come to Florida, you'll see a lot of signs around water about do not feed or molest the alligators, because the alligators have no fear of humans. They just do what they need to do to survive, regardless of human interaction. Go right up to on the water, not really concerned about it, because to them they are still the top tier of the food chain. And here, I want to thank you all for the opportunity to provide you with this presentation, and thank you again for reviewing it. Have a good day.